For Monday the 8th of October 2019, this is Force 13, Australia Oceania Channel. We have a look at a deepening super typhoon, NSW Hagibis, currently located 16.5 degrees north, 145 degrees east. Maximum winds are 140 knots, central pressure 915 millibars. On the screen is a look at the National Weather Service's radar at Graham up there in the Mariana Islands, and not a very good place to be considering what is coming. This is the Japanese Meteorological Agency's current track on the super typhoon, and from my own personal position, a major threat is developing for Japan. And we have a look at some satellite imagery of the system, and including the Joy Typhoon Warning Centre's current track, and also the life of the super typhoon up to a few hours ago. Super Typhoon 20W Hagibis is near 16.1 degrees north, 146.7 degrees east. It's about 178 nautical miles northeast of Anderson Air Force Base, Graham. It's tracking west-northwest at 16 knots. This is over the last 6 hours. Animated and enhanced infrared satellite imagery shows the symmetric system with compact and sharply outlined eye wall surrounding a pinhole 5 nautical mile eye. The EIR loop also shows a spiral rain bands, mostly from the south, continue to wrap very tightly toward the eye wall. Upper level analysis indicates radial outflow with very strong equatorward and eastward bias, enhanced by low 5 to 10 vertical wind shear. Sea surface temperature values at 29 to 30 Celsius. High ocean heat content are also conducive. The initial intensity of 140 knots is based on the VORAC estimates of T7, 140 knots. The cyclone is currently tracking along the southern periphery of a deep layered subtropical ridge to the north. The super typhoon is forecast to track northwest through the next 72 hours under the steering influence of the steering ridge. The aforementioned favourable environmental conditions are expected to persist and promote further intensification to a peak of 150 knots within 12 hours, and afterward increasing vertical wind shear will temper the intensity down to 125 knots by the 72-hour mark, just below super typhoon category. Numerical models are in tight agreement with a gradual and even spread to 155 nautical miles by the 72-hour mark, lending high confidence in the portion of the JTWC forecast track. In the extended period, the super typhoon will turn more northward as it crests the steering ridge axis towards a break in the steering ridge associated with a short wave trough forecast to deepen over Japan. Increasing vertical wind shear associated with the strong westerlies ahead of the trough will offset the otherwise favourable environment and gradually erode the system down to 90 knots by the 120-hour mark, as it is about to make landfall over southern Japan. However, numerical models diverge significantly to 310 nautical miles at the 120-hour mark. This plus significant differences in along track speeds lend low confidence in the extended portion. Now we have a look at what's making the local weather scene here in Australia. The Bureau of Meteorology has a fire weather warning which continues in the far north coast, New England and northern slopes fire districts. Hot, dry conditions combined with fresh westerly winds will result in elevated fire dangers over the northeast of the state today. And here in Queensland we have a fire weather warning expanded. Central Highland, Coalfields, the Darling Downs, Granite Belt, the Wide Bay, Burnett and the South East Coast forecast districts. Severe fire dangers expected to affect the Central Highland, Coalfields, Darling Downs, the Granite Belt, Wide Bay, Burnett and South East Coast districts today, with the potential for localised extreme conditions in Florida's area. Fresh and gusty westerly winds expected to bring hot and dry conditions across the warning area today ahead of a cold front that will move into the South East Coast district this evening. Winds behind the front will turn southwesterly, remaining fresh, gusty and dry this evening. Bureau of Meteorology has a strong wind warning in place for the Sunshine Coast waters and Gold Coast waters. Strong wind warning in place over the New South Wales-Queensland border, the Byron, Goffs, Macquarie, Hunter, Sydney, Illawarra, Batemans and Eden Coast. Similar warning will be in place for Wednesday. And going down to Victoria, strong wind warning for the Port Phillip Bay, the Western Port, West Coast, Central Coast, East Gippsland Coast. Tasmania, strong wind warning the far north west coast, Bank Strait, Franklin Sound, east of the Flinders Island, the upper east coast. For South Australia, strong wind warning the upper southeast, lower southeast coast. Bureau in Adelaide has cancelled a one for the south central coast. And no warnings for the Northern Territory. Strong wind warning WA, Esperance Coast, and they have an ongoing fire weather warning for the Kimberley Inland, West Pilbara, Ashburton Inland, North Interior Fire Weather District. Now we have a look at the Bureau's 24-hour rainfall outlook. The rainfall information is at the right hand side of the screen, and look at that area in light green through to dark green. And finally in this update we have a look at the instability. It's from 7 AM through to 1300 hours tomorrow, and prior to the rainfall it was the wind factor at the 850 millibars level. We will have more updated information later on today.
You can follow Force 13's outlets, the website force13.com, our YouTube page youtube.com/Force13, on Facebook under the same name Force 13, and our Twitter handle, it's @Force13 if you wish to get in touch. You can also add Force 13 on Skype and my personal account on Discord, Fool13, at extension 9094.